My name is Hilde. Today we're going to learn the hip bump and we're going to learn 4 different variations. So we're going to start on a diagonal, bringing the left hip forwards, bend your knees in neutral dance position and lift your left heel up. So the first part of the movement is just lifting the hip up into the waist and then bringing it back down to neutral. You can bring the arms out to the side if you wish. So we're going to lift and drop that hip up into the waist and back down. Now there's going to be an accent, and the accent is going to be on the up. So it's going to go up and up and up and up. In order to make the sharp accent, you're going to squeeze that glute. So the left glute is going to squeeze, and you're going to squeeze into the waist as well. So we're going from here, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Let's try the other side. Keep your knees bent. Lift the right heel up. Twist your torso to the side, arms out to the side, and we're going to lift and drop that hip into the waist. So as you lift into the waist, make sure your torso is not moving towards that hip. So we just lift the hip up and then bring it back to neutral with an accent, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. So this is called the hip bump. We're going to work on a traveling hip bump as well as a pivoting hip bump. So to travel, you're going to travel towards your hip. So if your left hip is coming up, you're going to travel to the left. So let's just bring the arms out to the side for now, and we're going to bump that hip up, up and up. Now each time you bump the hip up, you're going to bring a little bit of your weight into that left foot, or into the ball of the foot anyway, enough so that you can drag that back foot behind you. Yeah? So it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. We don't tend to travel back with the hip bump, so you would need to transition to a different move, or you could do a half turn and then travel forwards on the way back. Let's try the other side. So prepare. Again, lift that hip, and each time you lift the hip and press into the ball of the foot enough so that you can move that back foot a little closer to the front foot. So we're going 7, 8, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. So it travels forwards. The second variation of the hip bump is called the pivot bump. So we're going to actually make a turn with it. It's the same principle that you put a little bit of weight into the ball of that foot, but you're going to pivot on your back leg. So for now, we're going to pivot around the right foot. So ball of the left foot, and I'm going to pivot around 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So my back foot stays steady, but I allow enough weight to go into the front foot so that I can lift that back heel off the floor, so that gives me enough space to maneuver around. So I'm going again, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could travel back as well. So opposite direction, 7, 8. Let's try the other side. So bumping that right hip up, 7, 8, and 1, 2, and take it round in a circle. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's go to the third variation. This is called the single bump. Single bump, same principle. The hip is still lifting, but there's a little variation with the front foot. So the front foot is going front and back. This is a very small step. You don't want to make it too big. You're just going to the front of the back toes and then to the back of the heel. So it goes 1, 2, 1, 2. Each time you place the foot, you're going to bump that hip up. So we're going up and up and up. Now in principle, you could also travel forwards with the single bump as well as go into a circle as well. Yeah, so we can add that to our first two variations if we wish. 7, 8, other side. So the foot goes front and back, and then you add the hip bump. Make sure that back knee stays bent. So you don't want to lock into the knee. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try a double now. So speaks for itself. We're going to do double front, double back. So the foot pattern is the same, but we take 2 hips front and then 2 hips back. Front and front, back and back. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Other sides. We go front and front, back and back. Keep that back knee bent. 5, 6, 7, 8. Very nice. So now we're going to look at some arm variations. Now I really recommend that you have a look at my video called Postures and Arms. I'll make sure that it's in the description below so that you have the right technique for the arm positions. So for the traveling hip bump, you can bring both arms up and then drop the front arm down. Sometimes we like to take a bow to get there. Yeah, so here. Same principle for the pivot bump. You also want to keep the arms there, or variation would be the arms in the opposite place. So one arm up and one arm front. So let's try that with a traveling hip bump. So let's prepare. 5, 6, 7, 8, and travel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just walk it back. Other side. 5, 6, 7. Wait, let's try with the hip and the arm first. 5, 6, 7, and travel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, turn, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. The arm variation for our single choo-choo. Arms are out to the side, and there's a little bit of a play, an opposition in the arms compared to the hips. So I'm going front and back, front and back. And the arms go back and front, yeah? So I'm creating a little bit of a spiral in the body. Now when we do the double choo-choo or the double hip bump, we sometimes also call it the choo-choo. We go front and front, back and back. And the arms are going to be here, front and front, and back and back. Yeah, so we're going to try both together. 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, 3, and 4. 2 more. Last one, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side, singles. So arms out to the side, shoulders down, elbows down, and we go front and back. Little opposition in the arms with the hips. Make it very small, you don't want to make it too big. It's just a little bit of a light movement. And then we go doubles, so we go front and front, back and back. Here we go, 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 3, and 4. 2 more. 3 and 4, last one, and 2, and 3, and 4. Good. So these are our 4 variations for today. We're going to do them with some music now. 5, 6, 7, 8. Just a normal bump. And travel forwards. Let's just take a hip drop back. Again. This time we're going to pivot around that little right shoulder and pivot. Switch the arms. Let's go to single bump. And double. 2 more. Last one. And everything on the left side, or on the right side even. Arms come up. Little bump in that right hip up. And travel forwards. Let's just step back with a hip drop. And again. Now pivot. Switch the arms. Single bump. And double. 2 more. And last one. And finish. Nice job, everybody.